Oh, it's Tuesday, everybody. Well. Welcome back to Blackfire, the official YouTube channel of the Blackfire Technical Analysis community on Facebook. I forgot the links in the description. I do apologize. I kind of got my little description done in a rush today. I wish you could copy and paste on Streamlabs OBS, but you fucking can't. That's unfortunate. So I did forget a few things other than, the normal disclaimer that I provide. But it's here. It's Tuesday. The holiday weekend is over, unfortunately. I hope everyone had a really, really happy weekend like I did. I got some questions over the weekend. I want to give everybody a heads up. This isn't full-time yet. This isn't a full-time career yet, although I want it to be. I would like to be on here 7 days a week, but I'm not, because when there's a holiday or when there's a weekend, I tend to do whatever I want. It's my free time. I hardly get time with my fiance, so I do want to make it clear to everybody that, sometimes I'm not available during the weekends because I direct my time towards my relationship and, my family. So, I do apologize if anyone feels a little disheartened about that. It is what it is. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want on the weekends. So it's not that I don't think everybody in the community is important. I do think you guys are very important. I wouldn't be here without you guys. But it is important for me to, take mental health days, kind of relax, do whatever I want to do. You guys probably saw me playing video games over the weekend, just chilling, hanging out with my lady. And that's kind of how I like to be, right? Something else to, fill in for everybody to understand. While I can try to guide you guys and try to educate you guys, I want to make it very clear to everybody that I refuse to give you yes or no answers or specific answers to some of the questions that you ask me. Should I buy this? Should I invest here? Should I wait? Should I hold? All of that stuff has to be on your dime, right? You're trading and or investing at your own risk. While I am giving you guys my own speculative opinion on the market, I'm not I say that for a reason. I'm not a financial advisor. I refuse to tell anybody in the community what they can and cannot do with their investments, where they should and should not buy, or where they should and should not sell. I am providing my own speculative opinion about my own decisions and my own opinion on the market and its conditions. I am getting questions at the current moment in time about should I hold, should I buy more, should I do this, should I do that? I'm not going to answer those questions. Why? Because I'm not your financial advisor, and I'm not here to hold your hand through the investment and trading process. I am here to educate and teach, but I absolutely will not answer those types of questions where I have to give you, a yes or no answer to, a purchase, or a short, or whatever it may be. Again, like I said, I will kind of direct you on some analysis. I will definitely tell you some pointers on some analysis, but I will never tell you yes or no, or when you should buy, when you should sell, when you should hold. I'll never give you the answers to those questions because I'm not certified to do so. And I could legally get in a lot of trouble if I say, yeah, you should buy here, or yeah, you should sell here. Again, that's why I always say, that's why I'm always very, very careful. I'm tiptoeing around those types of questions. I'm not even comfortable with answering those types of questions because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to trade. I'm here to educate. I'm here to prosper. And I want to, while I do want to help everybody achieve the same goal, I will not tell you, yeah, you should buy, or yeah, you should sell, or no, maybe it's not a good idea. It's not my decision. You have to do your own due diligence. You have to make your own profits. You have to take your own losses, and you have to learn the same way I did. Going forward here. So I wanted to clear the air on that, just in case. But I will do your requests. I will analyze from my own speculative opinion some market requests here today. We are going to get started off with NASDAQ. Same old boring shit. So let's talk about it as I swiftly ingest some beautiful water. All right, so taking a look at NASDAQ here. And I did change the candles because I did see a reflection in the videos. I wanted you guys to see the candlesticks. So I'm gonna borrow my own favoritism towards what the chart looks like and stick with solid candles for the streams. But for NASDAQ, still kind of consolidating a little bit. I do believe we put in another new all-time high here on the 5th. Yeah, on the 5th here. When was that? Sunday, apparently. I didn't know the market was open Sunday, but the market was open Sunday. NASDAQ carried itself to new all-time highs. I mean, we're a little closer to that one spot 414 target here, but again, not close enough, in my opinion. for me to be comfortable with that, and saying that that is a target met. However, we did see new all-time highs within Nasdaq. We're still seeing a little bit of sideways. We got a little initial pullback here, but we did not close on new lows or anything like that. Kind of going a little sideways, a little bit boring last basically yesterday, coming into today. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm still looking for price to extend to that overall target of the 1.414, somewhere around 15,000. We'll just call it 15,800 bucks. That's barring any kind of complications, any kind of swan dives. Speaking of which, we will definitely be fucking talking about swan dives today, with the cryptocurrency market absolutely being destructive and heinous. We will definitely get into that. But for now, Nasdaq still creeping a little bit along to the upside here. RSI, definitely indicative of that in my opinion here. Still remaining in the bullish control zone, printing new highs. No bearish divergence, no top calls just yet. Not saying that that's not a possibility, but we do see this spike high right here technically taking out these last two spike highs here. Any continuation with price action and RSI collectively here, bearish divergence is going to be thrown off the table in my opinion here. Short-term uptrend structure on the RSI is still valid. Long-term structure on the RSI is still valid, and my disposition remains the same for Nasdaq. Continuation until proven otherwise. Stochastics again still indicative. That coiling, man. I'm telling you guys, that coiling action. I love seeing that shit. That just tells me that bears have absolutely no control in this market at all whatsoever. I'm not saying that it's not possible for them to take over. It's definitely possible for them to take over, and we'll go over a couple of examples of that today. But for now, in the critical zone, still remains in the critical zone, coiling, a lot right now, still in the critical zone. I'm looking for continuation of that 1.414 until one of the following conditions is met here. Any candle closure below this base of support right here at 15,600, I will be convinced. Oh shit, I forgot to change the color on that. My bad. It's probably hard to see. Booyah. Any candle closure below this support level here at 15,600 bucks, I will look for further continuation. I'm not even going to use that as support. I'm going to remove that here. I will look for further continuation to the yellow 21 exponential, which again is still my main strategy here. As long as price action remains above the 21 exponential, I'm not looking for any heinous declines to the downside. But that could definitely be a warranted pullback location right along the line of the prior breakout point here at the prior all-time high, 15,370, right? We can see a pullback to that region, and unless we break this region here, I'm going to be looking for a bounce along this way, boom, back to the upside, potentially looking for a higher low structure here. For now, we're continuing to hold this region here as tentative support, which leads me to believe the continuation to the upside is the most likely outcome for this asset. And if we do happen to see a break below that 21 exponential, again, I'm going to be playing it level by level on the way down, looking for the prior low here as my first tentative target, somewhere around 15,280 bucks, before looking for a more heinous debacle of a pullback. Again, level by level, I'm looking for price action to hit each level on the way down, unless it swan dives through the ladder. So that's my disposition on Nasdaq here. Let's check out SPY futures. Ooh, consolidation, definitely consolidating, but we do have a confirmed break of support here. We're going to get rid of this little box territory here just to make it a little bit clearer. Currently testing it as new tentative resistance. Again, not a death sentence in my opinion, but we do have a little bit of a soft cross down with the stochastics here, definitely indicative of sell pressure, and RSI continuing to remain below the bullish control zone, crossing that exponential, forcing that exponential back to a negative stature here. Possibly looking for a lower high, right? Possibly looking for from an exponential perspective, possibly looking for a lower high. But we got a top call here after seeing some bearish divergence play out on the RSI. We definitely saw that play through the support level here. Currently back testing it as resistance. If we confirm it as resistance today, I will look for a greater pullback all the way to this region here at 44.95. Maybe a little bit of a wick down to that yellow 21 exponential here, but that's where I'm going to leave the downside. If we see price action recover, just a little bit of a fake out in my opinion. Again, if we close above this region here, it's not confirmed as resistance now, but it could be confirmed as resistance come today at closure in 16 hours 15 minutes. But if we recover above this new possible resistance and confirm it as support, still continuation is my next bet here. Looking for continuation past this region here at 45.45 spot 25. Any candle closure above that region, I would go with my prior disposition and look for extension to the 1.414 Fibonacci extension level. And again, price action remaining above the 21 exponential leads me to believe that any kind of pullback of this nature here is just looking for another higher low structure before continuing to new all-time highs. This market still has strength in my opinion. Not seeing seeing any major heinous, signals of a decline. Although we do have bearish divergence printing on RSI. And the stochastics here, nothing too heinous. We could see stochastics come down, bounce off the critical zone here, bounce and curl right back up. I would be a lot more excited here if RSI, printed a higher low and crossed back into the bullish control zone, finally looking for new highs, limiting, potentials for bearish divergence here. But, again, the 21 being my main disposition here. As long as price action remains above that 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for more new all-time highs. And again, I don't have to tell you that. It's not rocket science here. You can, when in doubt, pull the chart out. And this is obviously bullish here. Obviously bullish. And, we saw some of these declines in the past that maybe got you to think, oh, we're going for a downtrend. Just kidding. Fuck you. Up. This market is going up, in my opinion, until proven otherwise. And a downtrend, a legitimate downtrend, would prove me otherwise. Let's go ahead and check out Dow Jones. A little bit more concerning for Dow Jones here, confirming a lower high in the structure, continuing down below the 21 exponential. I do believe on a closing basis, I will be looking for a bounce along this region here, back to test this region at 35,250 as new tentative resistance, right aligned with that yellow 21 exponential. And if we do confirm that as new tentative resistance, I will be extending my first target to the downside here. This will be my first target, the 0.886, right aligned with the 34,700 region, or the prior low here. I'm not saying it couldn't base a higher low structure at all. I'm not saying that at all. It definitely could, recover, hold this as support, print a higher low, and continue onwards and upwards. But we have our first confirmation of a potential downtrend here with this lower high structure, this, consolidation period here, confirming as a lower high in conjunction with the all-time high. Warning shot has been fired. Let's find another warning shot, shall we? Why don't we? Okay. Let's take a look. Excuse me. Stochastics confirming a lower high, crossing the exponential, rejecting the middle. I'd just call this the middle of the bullish control zone here, crossing the exponential to the downside. Further continuation to the downside will give me more confidence that we are potentially looking at the face of a formulating downtrend. And, stochastics being one of those first early signals here, boom, we got a nice cross of the exponential in conjunction with a cross of the 21 exponential in conjunction with a break of structure of that shorter term, uptrend structure here, that little bit of a fork off that's been very similar here. Now looking at RSI coming a little closer, a little too close for comfort to that 50 read here. A break of that 50 read in conjunction with a confirmation of the 21 acting as new tentative resistance will be confirmation enough for me to say, yup, we got more continuation likely coming in the future here. Not only that, but so many prior stabs here of bearish divergence, a break of structure on the RSI, a break of the 50 reads, just going to solidify my disposition here. But I'm not going to look for any heinous, absolutely savage debacles, right? I'm going to be looking for the first target, play it level by level. Obviously, I'm going to look for a secondary candle closure below the 21 exponential before I'm fully confident of that disposition. But warning shots have been fired for Dow Jones here. Warning shot fired, warning shot fired, warning shot fired. Confirmation below the 21 exponential, and I will be led to believe that continuation further down to the prior low here is the main disposition for this asset. Again, lower high structure on stochastics here, bearish divergence breaking structure on RSI. The evidence is kind of obvious. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. From my perspective, though, I'm going to be looking for confirmation, and, it'd be an obvious trade here. So that's going to be it for Dow Jones Industrial Average here. Let's check out DXY. I wonder if it's coming up. Yep, boom, high or low. Then I told you guys that was definitely a possibility to look forward to here, in the distant future for the U.S. dollar index. However, we remain below that 21 exponential. We are putting pressure on that 21 exponential, but we still remain below it, which keeps my main disposition intact. We have a lower high structure, which leads me to believe that this could also potentially be a lower high in formation here, unless we break that 21 exponential and see a confirmation candle closure back above it, at which point, if confirmed, I will look for extension to this region here at 92.96. And the farther up the U.S. dollar index goes, the more convinced that the bear market for cryptocurrencies, I'm going to be convinced of that, right? I'm going to be convinced the bear market is legitimized for the cryptocurrency market here. Again, this is a higher low structure. That is something to consider greatly. It's just a pullback, bro. It's just a pullback, bro. That's definitely a possibility with this one, this being a little bit of a pullback after achieving new highs, breaking the long-term structure. And it leads me to believe that still potentially plays out in the future here. The long-term uptrend structure could be validated, again, as long as price action remains above the prior macro low of 89.68. Anywhere above there could prove to be a higher low in the structure here overall for this, and my uptrend structure being validated still stands. For now, we're remaining below the 21 exponential, although we do have some power coming off at this support here. We still remain below the 21 exponential. It's not to say we couldn't see a closure above there, but we still remain below, which leads me to believe, downtrend continuation could be very possible. Again, I don't want to violate my own trading rules here, and as long as price action is below that 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for it to act as resistance, forcing price action down. Now, if we do get a lower high structure here, this is going to be, again, my target for price action at 92.1. And if we see price action take out 92.1 on the US dollar index, this will be the next target here at 91.83 and likely lower, right? We'll have a confirmed change of behavior, taking out, a higher low structure here. Again, we have a higher low structure here, and we'll have confirmation below that region, which is indicative of a change of structure, change of behavior here, and I will look for continuation to the downside. However, we have some conflicting signals here. Stochastics bouncing back through the bottom side of the bearish control zone into the bearish control zone on a very sharp incline here. I do like that signal, and bullish divergence, sending RSI above that 50, barely, but above that 50 read nonetheless, forcing that exponential back to a positive stature. Again, conforming some sort of long-term uptrend structure possibility here from this point to this point. Very valid. We can definitely consider that a valid structure here for RSI and for price action. Again, as long as price action doesn't reverse, we can argue that this is a higher low structure and continuation is the most likely outcome. However, from my perspective, as long as we remain below the 21 exponential, and I'm not saying I'm right, I could easily be proved wrong today. We could easily see price action close above the 21 today, and then that whole disposition goes out the window, and the upside disposition becomes valid, right? That's why I, plan for everything and expect nothing. If you fail to plan, your plan is to fail, which is why it's like, okay, I don't care if price goes up or price comes down. I have a plan for both sides, and I have plans for entries on both sides. So that's kind of how I'm looking at the US dollar index. I think it is time for the conversation topic of the day. And boy, let me tell you, guys, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. News doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. It's not manipulation. People putting in orders to sell at a specific price point, it's not manipulation, it's legal trading. Just my opinion. I might catch some wind for it tomorrow. But we have clearly defined indications that the region that Bitcoin rejected was very likely to reject. So we're looking at the structure of Bitcoin, and what do we see, ladies and gentlemen? What do we see? Okay, here we go. Your all-time high. Your all-time high, right? We have a plethora of evidence, and I'm saying a disgusting amount of evidence. Support along this region. Very, very, very critical region. That is definitely not arguable, right? So we hit these new highs, right, over the weekend. We saw Bitcoin extend. Very exciting. Everyone getting excited, right? Boom, 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 boom. We close right on resistance. Heinous debacle ensues. Bearish divergence confirming on RSI. Again, boom, hitting that bottom side of the bullish control zone. We've seen a plethora of rejection. 7,000 units of grain of evidence has been provided that tells you this was very likely to reject. Okay? Boom. Bearish divergence confirmed. RSI. Boom. Sharp decline. More bearish divergence on the stochastics, rejecting the critical zone for the bearish control zone here. Boom. Heinous debacle. And that couldn't be more obvious of a decline here. Look, man, if you're playing with critical orders, right, if you're playing with this region, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy it. Why? we're below resistance. We see this as a clearly defined historically relevant resistance, and it wasn't out of the question. It wasn't out of the question. I definitely said in last week's stream that it is very possible, since we broke structure, that we could see a little bit of extension here, right? But I'm not going to get confident for new all-time highs. Why? Because we are potentially looking at what? A bull trap! Here's what that means. Here's what that means. Here's what that means. Not only bots and algorithms, but limit orders were at this region premeditated on fucking purpose. On purpose! On purpose. No news did this. No manipulation did this. Sell orders did. Executed bots and algorithms, executed limit short sells, did this. It's technically sound. It is so technically sound, right? Now what do we have? Lower high. Lower high confirmed. Another lower high, right? So what are we looking at here today? We are looking at a break of the 21 exponential here, forcing it to a negative slope. Confidence. Very sharp decline. Rejection of the bullish critical zone. Boom. Warning shot fired number 2. Warning shot fired number 3. Boom! Rejection of the bullish control zone. Straight shot. New lows. RSI. Exponential negative. Warning shot fired number 3. Confirmation comes when? Confirmation comes if and when Bitcoin confirms a secondary daily candle closure below the 21 exponential, confirming a short position for yours truly. I got pulled out at this region here. Just below the 21 exponential. 2% below the 21 exponential. I lost a little bit of this profit up here, but do I give a shit? No, because I hit this take profit almost to the T. Took a little bit more profit here. I think originally, before this heinous decline, roughly 10 to 15% of my overall position remained, right? I have taken profits on pretty much all of this position and lost not much. I actually still secured profit, right? I've been in a risk-free position basically since the uptrend was confirmed. Oh shit! Since the uptrend was confirmed here, right? All the way back down here, right? I've been risk-free since this point here, and I cannot be more excited for Bitcoin right now. I'm actually pretty stoked to potentially enter in a short position. Again, I'm not saying that it's impossible to see this recover. It's definitely not out of the question to see this recover. However, we have a lot of evidence on momentum oscillators that says the bears may be stepping in. The bears may be stepping in. Warning shots have been fired. Right? You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the most technically sound rejections I've seen in quite some time on Bitcoin. One of the most technically sound rejections I have seen. And again, I didn't need the fucking news. I didn't need manipulation. I didn't need any of that to tell me what today's market was possibly going to do. Again, if you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. And what did I do? I planned for rejection. And what did we get? Rejection indeed. Right, I don't want to come on here, toot my own horn or anything, but I am a firm believer that unless what's the market cap? Something like trillions, right? 1.1 or some shit like that. It's in the trillions, right? It's got to be in the trillions. Unless Jeff Bezos himself came in and pulled out fucking, $200 billion. You can't make this. It's technical analysis at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I might catch heat tomorrow. It is what it is. Everybody, everybody is completely allowed to have their own opinions. And I'm not saying anybody could be technically right or technically wrong. But I'm going to argue it until probably the day I die. Technical analysis fucking works, man. It works. It's there for a reason. People use it for a reason. It's been traded for over a century, more than a century, for a reason. here we go. Here we go on Bitcoin, right? So, okay, let's talk about the potential upside. Although, my personal bias doesn't think it's coming to the up. I don't trade my personal bias. I trade technical analysis. If I see a recovery back above the 21 exponential, I will still assume that the 21 exponential is holding as support, although we got a very clean break below it. But if we do recover back above, I'll have no reason not to look for extension to the bottom side of resistance here at 49,990 first and foremost, but likely gets met with rejection. Again, I am on short watch here. This is an absolutely heinous decline. This is an absolute warning shot fired that the bears do not want to see this continue on to new all-time highs. And again, I don't think this has anything to do with, what Salvador, is it Salvador? I don't even remember. I read a Facebook post about a country utilizing Bitcoin as a legal don't care. Doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect my trading. Doesn't affect my analysis. Doesn't matter. I've been looking at this for potential rejection for quite some time now. Although I didn't cover, I think I did cover it though. I think I did cover it, that this is potentially a bull trap here several times. And if we close below the 21 exponential here coming today and today only, I will be very confident that price action likely extends to the downside to my first target here at 44,530, followed by potentially a little bit of a bounce here, and then overall continuation to the top side of this blue box territory at 42,000, and in my opinion, likely further. This again ties up with the weekly. We're gonna bring up the weekly, and again, you can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't make this stuff up. I'm gonna bring up the HMA, the Huff 104. Again, I did learn this. I did learn about this indicator from another YouTuber here, but I saw it as an opportunity to learn something new, and something new I did learn. What do we got? Rejection, right? We were looking at this candle on last week. We got this candle to come up, hit those new highs, boom, right? We closed right on it. Doesn't really tell me that this is a confirmed candle closure above. Absolutely heinous rejection, resistance to the downside on the Huff 104. We'll check out a couple of examples of where this initiated the bear market in the past. Here's your first one, blow off top to 20,000 back in 2017 here, followed by decline, break of the Huff 104, followed by a back test, and then a year-long bear market. We can come back one more time, check out this other example, and we can also look at how it lines up with the Fibonacci extensions here. We got our blow-off top back in 2013 in November, followed by a break and a retest all the way back up into that honey hole near the spot 5, rejection, boom, year-long bear market. You can't make this stuff up, guys. You really can't make this stuff up here, and, as seriously as I take this here, I'm planning for any, again, I could be wrong, right? I'm not here to toot my own horn. Sometimes I do. Don't get me wrong. I will, when stuff plays out in my favor. But again, just because I'm tooting my own horn does not mean I am not expertly planning my positions based off of the technical analysis. I do not, and I absolutely refuse to trade my own opinion, my own hype, and my own excitement. The only thing I choose to trade is what the market is telling me to trade. So, we got a nice indication. If we close below last week's open here at 48,730, I'm going to be very convinced that we are potentially looking at the precipice of a year-long bear market for Bitcoin, and continuation to new lows, even below 31,500 is going to be my most likely disposition here. We got a nice recovery on the daily time frame, off of this low support here, but you got to expect a little bit of a bounce, a little bit, some buy orders to come in here on this price action chart, especially with such a heinous decline coming into today. Not out of the question. So that's kind of looking at Bitcoin. That's my disposition, guys. I'm getting a request for Hall of Fame. I think I'll start with that one first, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is, and I'm waiting like a snake in the grass, ready to strike, ready to strike, ready to strike. I'm gonna get this in here before I continue on. I'm gonna take a chug of water. Let's get to it. Here's the Hall of Fame. Oh, what do we got? All right. Excuse me. So So we're looking at the Hall of Fame here. I wonder if we close below the 21. Oh, and we did. We did indeed close below support here. Warning shot fired. RSI. Ooh, did that cross? Am I colorblind? Cross to the downside, continuing below the 50 read. You know, and again, this doesn't mean necessarily that the Hall of Fame is over. This is one of the stocks that I lost a little bit of money on today. I think I lost 60 cents. It wasn't one of my primary large positions. Bitcoin was my main primary large position, and I couldn't be more fucking satisfied with that position today. But, you know, took a little bit of a loss on the Hall of Fame here. Haven't really been able to manage my risk off the 21 for, you know, quite some time now, since the 1st of September. And, you know, 21 Exponential has been basically flatlined the entire time. So, you know, mitigating my risk on the 21 is basically impossible. It's been basically the same, you know, stop loss order for the past week, essentially. And, boom. Pressure on that 21 broke to the downside. We have, you know, stochastics creeping closer to the bottom side of the bullish control zone here. Again, this kind of cross to the downside, rejection of the critical zone, is kind of the signal that, you know, I look for overall for the Hall of Fame. And, you know, nothing's confirmed. We can see price action bounce back up, continue to this region here, and back up to $3.38. That would not be out of the question to see, you know, a nice significant bounce in this region here hold as tentative support. But the way price action is marked right now, 21 is broken. The 21 is broken. So for tomorrow, I will be looking for a little bit of a, you know, back test, you know, maybe back up. But overall, I'm going to be looking for this 21 to act as tentative resistance. If I get that secondary candle closure below the 21, I will have no reason not to look for price action to fall all the way back down to the $2.85 region, at which point, again, still very possible we could see a higher low structure from a macro standpoint, or not a macro, a micro standpoint, at this $2.85 region, base a higher low before continuing back into this blue box territory. Again, that is one of the possibilities. However, when in doubt, pull out. You know, my buddy Corey here, my Facebook moderator here, definitely brought to my attention, hey, pull the chart out, man. Pull the chart out. Isn't this a lower high? Technically, yes. If you want to talk about macro, this is our last macro high here. And as long as we're printing lower highs below that macro high, any high below that is considered a, you know, a lower high, especially without the context of an uptrend here. And boom, what do we got? Potentially a lower high, potentially a macro lower high that could very easily send price action below the $2.60 base low all the way into the blue box territory here. Anywhere in this region here would be a possibility, but first and foremost, I need to see confirmation. And what kind of confirmation am I going to be looking for here? Obviously, we have a warning shot fired on the RSI telling us we're losing bullish momentum. Second warning shot fired will be a confirmation candle closure below support in conjunction with the 21 exponential. This would be confirmation, full confirmation that this is likely just kind of a, you know, a bull trap here. Any daily candle closure below that $2.85 region, I'll look for a back test to confirm as new tentative resistance before looking for new lows, essentially. And that would be in line with seeing the RSI, or excuse me, seeing the stochastics here cross below the bullish control zone here. That would be a very, very significant read in my opinion, and I would be looking for momentous decline to that 50 read here, which I'll mark off right now. Oops, I did not mean to hit that. Gonna set this to 50 here. I like to be as perfect as possible. So yeah, any kind of, you know, break below 285 with a break below the bullish control zone here. Again, I would be looking for new new lows here within the structure. For me, exciting. You know, from a non-trading perspective, it is exciting. But if you're trading this, you know, it could be a little, shit. You know, one of those oh shit moments where you get trapped in, you get trapped in one of these positions here. It doesn't really succeed in continuing onwards and upwards. Puts in a macro lower high before continuing the bear market to the downside. We are in the precipice of a bear market. Again, an uptrend has not been confirmed yet. An uptrend has not been confirmed. An uptrend has not been confirmed. We have the beginning steps, the beginning formulation of an uptrend with a higher high, yes, but an uptrend is not confirmed until preceded with a confirmation higher low in structure. We do not have that just yet. In fact, we have evidence that this could potentially continue down to the downside. Again, I could be proven wrong. We could see a higher low off the $2.85 region. That would not be out of the question, and then continue onwards and upwards. But until that point is confirmed, to be realistic, I'm looking for the rejection of the 21 and continuation to the downside for the Hall of Fame. So hopefully that clears some air here for the Hall of Fame, putting a lot of pressure on that 21. I got shaken out of my position, and again, safely so. 2% loss on the position. I am not dissatisfied. Instead of saying, oh, just hold out for hope. I don't play with fucking hopium, man. I don't play with, news. I don't play with hope. I don't play with hype. I don't play with any of that stuff, because 9 times out of 10, that kind of stuff is going to get you where? In the loss. Major losses. So 2% under my 21 exponential here. Take a loss, wait for the next setup to formulate. I'm satisfied with that. And that's the Hall of Fame here today. I do want to check out AMC, continuing to new highs here today. I do like the structure here for AMC. Again, continuing to new highs, breaking resistance, and overall continuing the trend to the upside. I did mitigate my risk once again off that 21 exponential, 2% below the fresh new tick to the upside. Beautiful. As of right now, I am a little bit in the profit from a 21 exponential perspective, and I couldn't be more satisfied. So we did see continuation to new highs, confirming this region as a new tentative. No, we haven't confirmed this. How? How have we not confirmed? How is this not a low? See, this RSI really fucks with me sometimes. This is a low, man. Maybe from an RSI perspective, it's not. Maybe we needed to see a tick above the prior high for it to be confirmed a low, but new highs on price action. This is a fucking low, you guys. This is a higher low here, and I'm looking for uptrend continuation. First target, obviously, I'm going to be looking for a confirmation of 47.34 as new tentative support, but my general target overall is going to be at $53 region over time, and looking at stochastics here, a breach back into the critical zone, potentially looking for new highs here. I like this bullish momentum, very, very confident inducing here. RSI bouncing off the exponential, continuing onwards and upwards. Again, not confirming any new highs, so we are in the precipice of potentially confirming bearish divergence, assuming we see a reversal back below this support and more confidently below 44.90 to confirm a high, right? To confirm a high. If we do get a high structure here, we likely see bearish divergence play out, and the first target would be this low here at 43.76, and possibly a wick down to test that 21 exponential as new tentative, or not new tentative, to test the support of the 21 exponential. I get my English here mixed up today. I do apologize. Man, I'm really excited about this water right now, man. Hydration is the key to success and good brain function. Apparently, I don't have good brain function because I fuck up my words all the time. But, for AMC, as long as price action remains above the 21 exponential here, I'm going to be looking for general continuation, assuming that we don't see some kind of flash crash below. And again, I'm not saying that's not possible. We saw it on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin closed above the 21, my disposition would have remained the same, continuation to the upside until proven otherwise. And I was proven otherwise today with that extreme flash crash to the downside. So, plan for everything. Plan for everything and expect nothing. I don't expect price action to go to $53, almost $54. It's just a plan. I'm planning for price action to move in that direction. I'm also planning for price action to put in a bearish divergence top here and continue to this region here at the base low at 43.48, or even a wick down to the 21 exponential. I'm also planning for 21 exponential to break, at which point I would be looking for continuation to this region here at 37.33. Which would also be indicative of a macro high, lower high, right? So it's all how you perceive the market. It's all about how you're planning and how you're executing your plans once specific conditions are met. For now, AMC looking for continuation, and continuation is my main disposition until proven otherwise. Let's see what we got here. MMAT, boom. MMAT, not putting in a top, a little bit of consolidation here on the new highs, testing, putting a lot of pressure on the support level here, which I wonder if it's still holding. Let me readjust. Yeah, we're still holding that support. You know, putting a lot of pressure on it. Not saying that we couldn't see, you know, a little bit of price action to the downside, but we don't have any major signals on RSI just yet. A little bit of that waning momentum, just kind of like wormy movement to the upside. Still above the 50 read, and our, you know, stochastics coiling in the bullish control zone. You know, I do think MMAT has some juice. I get, you know, again, you know, the 21 exponential ticked up a little bit. I secured a little bit more profit here today on MMAT. Couldn't be more excited about that. Generally looking for continuation. Unless we put in a top here. Where was our last low? We could definitely put in a top here, pull back all the way to the 21 exponential, all the way down to $4.30 first and foremost as a tentative higher low structure target. Base a higher low here, continue onwards and upwards. We could see a test of support here at $4.92, or we could see this just absolutely hold and, you know, price continuation to the upside. You know, a little bit of sideways. I would look for this to continue going sideways until either one of the two horizontals breaks to the upside. Any closure above $5.85, I'll be looking for a back test to confirm it as new tentative support before looking for $7.30, at which point I'll be taking profit. I'll be taking major profit along that region here. That is my next take profit. You know, that is a bigger take profit region here that I am focused on for price action here. And you know, quite the opposite. If we break below this support here at $5.41, my first target move will be looking for $4.90 to the downside, and you know, maybe even a little lower to the 21. Again, you know, still looking for a higher low structure here. We haven't seen a higher low since this region here confirmed on the 26th, 27th of August. So it wouldn't be out of question to see a little bit of that bullish momentum die off, print a higher low before continuing on. Wouldn't be out of the question to see you know, consolidation. It wouldn't be out of the question to see new highs. That's what I'm planning for. So that's MMAT here. It is time for requests. I have never seen CEI. I don't think I have. Let's take a look at it. Didn't get a time frame for this, so I'm going to go and stick with the daily here. Camber Energy Incorporated here. Reversal style candlestick formation. Ooh, man. Ooh, boy. Definitely reversal. Definitely reversal here. Hitting resistance to the T. We're going to mark this off. Let's find a support. Look at that region of support. Couple of other levels here. I love doing fresh charts for you guys because it gives you my my perspective here of what I'm thinking. And let's look for a target if it breaks. All right, so looking at Chamber Energy here, a penny stock for sure. Not the greatest looking chart, to be quite honest with you. Definitely, oh my God. Holy shit. Wow. Is this real? What? $92 million per share. I don't know how confident. Really? 92 fucking million a share. Really? Really? 92 million to 97 cents. What the fuck? Why are we trading this? Question is, I don't know, but let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, hitting resistance here. I wouldn't see any reason why we couldn't see a pullback here to test this region as new tentative support, although we do got a secondary candle closure above it. We are above the 21 exponential, which leads me to believe continuation is a likely outcome for this asset. However, look at the divergence between the 21 exponential here and price action. Very, very, very big difference. So, you know, it's not out of the question to see a big, huge dip to the downside. Here's our last low here. This is a low, like an all-time low here for this one. You know, am I confident in continuation? No. Fuck no. Absolutely not. This is one of the shittiest charts I've ever seen in my life. From a daily perspective, though, I would say if we break 98 cents here, confirm it as new tentative support, I would be looking for about $1.34 as a new target to the upside. However, if we continue to reject this region here, I'll look for pullbacks to the first target to the downside at about 80 cents, followed by 59 cents, 60 cents. Looking at stochastics, we are in the bullish critical zone, doing a little bit of that coily action, so there is a confidence inducer there. RSI diving deep into the bullish control zone, but there hasn't been times that many times in history where RSI has been in this region for very long for this asset here before absolutely getting crushed to the downside. However, the exponential is absolutely powerful. RSI is powerful. We got a top call, bounce off the 50 read into the bullish control zone. Powerful. I would say it is safe to say that there is a little bit of momentum power here within this price action chart. I don't know why you were doing what you're doing. Thank you. And yeah, I would be looking for continuation unless unless we see resistance here. If we see resistance here, I'm gonna be targeting that first horizontal support. So, again, this is so bad. This chart is so. Look at this. It leads me to believe that this is going to reject and print new lows, man. To be quite honest with you, I don't know how confident. Did this thing really have an all-time high of $92 million a share? No wonder this fucking thing is a pile of dog shit. No, I'm not confident in continuation, to be quite honest with you. We do have some trades, some significant trades in this consolidation. This long-term consolidation here. With the 21 exponential here, you can see where the 21 didn't prove to be a good strategy unless you were looking to short this to the absolute floor. It's bad. It's a bad chart, man. From my perspective, I mean, there are different trading techniques that people are using, but if I was trading this, I wouldn't be. So that's kind of my disposition on CEI here. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Fubo. I like Fubo a little bit more. Putting in a little bit of a top, testing support here, holding support. Yeah, top confirmed here. What am I going to be looking for? I'm actually going to be looking for a little bit more downside continuation, potentially to test that 21 exponential, maybe base a higher low structure off of this high. I'd say any candle closure below 27.80 is going to be very concerning for price action, in my opinion, because that will be another signal of continuation of consolidation here. Every which way that this trend plays out, it's not a trend. This is consolidation overall. It's going sideways, and it's going to remain to the sideways, assuming we don't hold that 21. But overall, with that top call here, I will be looking for potentially this support here to break. Give me 1 second. Gotta crack my back. What is that level? 29.15. I will be looking for that region there to break to the downside, and if it does, I will look for continuation to that 21 exponential. And if we break that 21 exponential, I will be targeting the $26.34 region here, and likely be confident with consolidation continuation overall. However, stochastics going for potentially new highs, and if we see momentum continue and we hold this region here as a new tentative support with a higher low structure, I'll be looking for this to break to the upside and continuation to 31.60 as the next tentative target for this momentum here. And if we can confirm a higher low, I will have very, very high confidence that we have an actual uptrend here in formulation, potentially looking to take out, again, this high here, which would build enough confidence for a move to that 34 region. Man, it's hot in here. Give me a second. Get myself all worked up. I did eat some really hot shit, and my stomach's been on the fritz. I guess you could say I learned my lesson. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I got a couple of upside targets. RSI printing a little bit of a top, not the most exciting thing in the world. Although again, it's still on an uptrend structure. It is an uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high. We do have an uptrend unless proven otherwise. And as long as price action remains above that 21 exponential, I have no reason to be bearish on this. Although I do want to highlight the possibilities here for that price action and make everyone aware that the 21 is my main source for my strategy here. And closing candles below the 21 just tells me it's time to short. But we're above it right now. We still have the potential to see a higher low structure and continuation. But seeing a top call here. A little bit of concern for Fubo, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and look at TMBR, Timber Pharmaceuticals. Nah, not confident at all. Looking for downtrend continuation on this one, confirming a lower high. Once again, bearish divergence, boom, to the downside. You know, yeah, this was a high. This is still technically a higher high. But, you know, pull it out, man. Pull it out. We've seen those structures before. Those, you know, those micro uptrend structures. I'm looking for more. I'm looking for downside continuation on this one overall. To be quite honest with you, you know, heinous rejection of resistance or of this support here, back below the 21. I'll be more confident if we see a secondary candle closure below the 21. At which point I will be looking for a targeted move all the way down to 87 cents and likely lower to new lows here. However, you know, if we print a higher low on the 21, you know, maybe a little bit of a pop back up to this region here at about $1.06 wouldn't be out of the question. But am I confident in that? No, not at all. RSI rejecting the 50 read here, printing that bearish divergence. Lots of bearish divergence here in the bearish neutral zone. Not looking too healthy. Although we do, you know, have structure above the exponential. That 50 read is a little more weighted, in my opinion, for decision making here. And stochastics looking a little bit weaker. You know, pretty strong to the upside, but we're starting to see that pressure push that stochastics here. So again, it's all about how price action plays. We're right on the 21. I'm not confident in dispositioning anything unless I see that 21 hold as support or resistance, right? At which point I will be more confident in you know, targeting either upside or downside targets. But we are putting a little bit of pressure, in my opinion. Again, while I don't trade my opinion, it's just my opinion, and my opinion is putting a lot of pressure on that 21 here. It potentially breaks to the downside, and we see the, you know, we see the follow through of the price target to that low here, that base low, you know, fully formulate. And if we see, you know, that structure break here, you know, the next target to the downside is about 80 cents, and likely further. And again, you know, while we could argue that this is potentially looking for an uptrend, it's not looking. It's not evident. You know, from an evidence standpoint, it's not looking. It's not looking like it really wants to try to go for an uptrend right now. So, you know, that's pretty much timber for right now. Let's go ahead and move on. BIDU mother trucker, Baidu. Continuation is my main disposition on this one. Although we hit that resistance a little bit, we still saw upside continuation. You know, back above this region here as new tentative support. I would be looking for a pullback and a full, you know, confirmed test of this region to confirm it as support first. But, you know, if we can do that and you see price action close above this, I have no reason to look for extension to about 175.20. However, if we put a little bit of a high in here, you know, we haven't closed the low since the 30th of August. It wouldn't be out of question to see a full pullback to that 21, base a higher low off that 21, and continue onwards and upwards further. So we have the upside targets, stochastics in the bullish critical zone here. I do like that. RSI back above the 50 read. I take that as a critical signal for potential continuation, closing on new highs. I do like that. I'm going to be convinced of upside continuation for this one unless we see a open and closure below that 21 exponential and, you know, a change of behavior ensue as a result, at which point I would be looking for, you know, new lows. But, you know, as far as this one's concerned, you know, continuation to the upside, very, very, very likely. We are playing with a very critical level, in my opinion, a critical level of resistance basing off this consolidation phase here. And, you know, if we do break that, I will be confident in continuation to the next two targets here to the upside. So that's a Baidu here. I already did. So let's do Disney. I think DIS is Disney. Yes, it is. And I got a daily and a weekly here. Daily, looking for continuation. I do like this rounding uptrend structure. I'm going to be looking for this level here first and foremost to break. Yeah, we are meeting resistance pretty heavily right now, but momentum oscillators putting in a higher low structure off that 21 exponential and meeting the prior high. Meeting the prior high on the RSI. I will be looking for continuation past that resistance coming into tomorrow. I do like this structure, to be quite honest with you. Stochastics printing new highs, dipping back into the bullish control zone. It'll be very interesting to see if price action, formulates to the upside and continues this uptrend. The longer term uptrend to the upside here. And again, higher lows, right? Higher lows. All we need to see is some higher highs and confirmation of support along those higher highs before looking for continuation to the upside. If we do break, what's the level? This would be my first level here. About 180 now. We'll just call it 190 bucks would be my first target to the upside with price action, confirming a break of that resistance here. And if we can confirm above, man, I think things get exciting for Disney, as I do think potentially this one would be gearing up for new highs, right? New all-time highs here. But, we're well and far away from that. Let's talk about the downside. If we break, the only downside I'm looking for is the break of the 21 exponential. If we break the 21 exponential here, open and close below it, a little bit of a pullback would not be out of the question. I'd be looking for this level first before this level here at 169 spot 53. It's the first target upon a break of the 21. I would be looking for 173 spot 70 and likely lower. But the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. We have an uptrend. We're above the 21 exponential. I'm confident in continuation for Disney. Let's look at the weekly here. Weekly, yeah. Close two candles above the weekly. Again, a break above this support, or excuse me, this resistance on Disney, a 184 spot. We'll just call it 185. Closures above 185 here. I think things gear up for the positive here. We are seeing stochastics above the 50 read on the weekly chart, and we are seeing momentum gain a little bit of bullish divergence here on the RSI, printing new highs on structure, taking out the negatively sloped exponential, forcing it back to a positive stature. So we do have a couple of warning shots fired for bullish continuation on Disney to the upside on the longer term structure. I think the longer term looks good for continuation to the upside. And again, the 21 being my main laggard here, or potentially seeing a high, a top call here, and continuation below the 21 would be convincing enough for a lower high structure on the weekly, at which point I'd be targeting lows much lower to the base low of 169 spot 63, probably lower. But this would be the first target, to be quite honest with you. I do believe on the daily time frame here, this big price action here is, a huge gap. So wouldn't be out of the question from a longer term perspective if things were to swing and fail for price action to reach that target to the downside at about 154, 155. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Disney here today. And I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'll do it for the stream, everybody. I actually got some work to do tonight. I don't know if I'll be on with any gaming videos tonight. I have some of my own stuff to kind of, hash out here tonight, so I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the channel. If you guys do like the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. If you don't like honesty, hit the dislike button. Still gives me visibility. You know what I'm saying. And thanks for being here, guys. I so much love your guys' support. Couldn't be here. I wouldn't be motivated to do this without it. So thank you for being here. And as usual, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Peace out.